And welcome back to Bonsai Life and Flow. Today I will be talking a little bit about my dance journey and how I got to where I am today. I've been talking about it on my Instagram. If you want to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, the links and everything are down below. But I have been talking about my belly dance journey because it's fun to look back and see where I've come from, and how long of a journey it has been, and how much I've learned along the way, and all the beautiful souls I've met along the way, and how much it's transformed my life beyond dance. So there's so many life lessons I've learned through dance, and there's so many beautiful mindsets I've learned through dance, and I've connected to my body in a deeper, more loving way tremendously through dance. And I don't think I would have such a positive body image if I didn't start dance. So, in any case, let's begin. So, about 15 years ago, I went to the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and I saw belly dancers dancing on stage for the first time, like live. And I immediately started tearing up and crying. I got super emotional because these dancers were beautiful, and they were all shapes and sizes. Some were curvy like myself, and some were thinner, some were taller, some were shorter, and I just really loved seeing all these women get together and dance, and it just touched something in my heart and just made me just really emotional. And I was like, I need to learn to do this, I need to do this. And I had wanted to dance since I was a child. Like, I saw Fly Girls in Living Color, if you're familiar, and I so wanted to dance, but I was too shy and too introverted, and I just didn't think I could do it because I was very uncoordinated, or at least I told myself that. And I joined karate and was in karate for a very long time. And I love karate, and it helps me gain a lot of confidence in myself and my skills, and knowing the growth mindset of just practicing and learning something. So I think karate was key to me, like having the courage to even begin dance, because I was so uncoordinated and I felt like I was the worst dancer in the world. My little brother used to call me the chunky butt wagger, and that used to stick in my head and make me super self-conscious. At any school dance, I wouldn't dance. I'd stay on the wall. I just was too afraid. And so anyway, flash forward. I find these belly dancers, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to learn this. I come back to my town, and I find someone who's, who teaches about 45 minutes north of me or so. And I get together with two of my friends, and we start belly dancing. One of us had already started, and she was bringing me to her class, so she was a little bit ahead of me. And then my other friend who started was all like one of those like supernatural dancers, just picked up dance like really easily. So out of my friends, I was the oddball who had a really hard time picking up the moves. I had such a hard time grasping things. Especially since I had a lot of karate-ness in me, so like when other girls were doing graceful movements, I was like, so I really had a rough time, especially in the beginning, and it was personal to me too, so any kind of suggestion of modification, I just took as like a deep fail. For some reason in karate, it didn't matter. I could take suggestions and modifications and refinements, and it didn't faze me. But then with dance, somehow it really got me emotionally. So I had to really figure out where I wanted to go with this dance, and it really made me dive deeper into my self-worth, because a lot of it was starting to be pinned on dance, and it really helped me come to a healthier mindset about my body and what I have to offer, and taught me a lot of lessons about myself during that time. So, flash forward, I began a troupe with those two girls, and we were in a troupe that was mainly American tribal style because that was the first style that we learned. And I really loved the community of American tribal style, which is now called Fat Chance Belly Dance style, or Fat Chance style. And I really loved how it was improvisational, where there's lead and there's follow and there's that nonverbal communication, and you can dance to whatever songs you want basically on the spot and be able to like communicate through dance. And I really loved that aspect, and I loved the magical community that was going on. And I went to a lot of events. I learned from a lot of my favorite ATS instructors. I got to learn from Carolina on several occasions, and Mega, and like I loved so many of them, and I still do. But I was like the black sheep of the troupe. Like I felt like I was boxed in, and I needed to be creative and express myself in a deeper way. And I loved different costuming, and I loved different songs that were acceptable in ATS, and I liked different, everything I liked was kind of starting to turn towards this fusion. So I went and I found fusion, and I started to connect with Amy Danielson and learn from her and travel to her to learn from her. And then luckily Datura Online came, and I could learn on Datura Online, which was just so crucial and such a great tool for me, and I highly recommend it. And then I met the amazing Violet Kind at an ATS retreat, and she kind of blew my mind, and I really connected with her right away. And I learned that she had been inspired by ATS and ITS by Amy Sigil, whom I love, and she made her own vocabulary. So that made my wheels start turning in my head, and I started to kind of like that. So I fell in love with her vocabulary, Fly Fusion, and learned a lot of Fly Fusion. But I also, there's a bee on me. Please don't sting me. I've already been stung like 3 times this week. And so I love the Fly Fusion, but at the time she wasn't teaching it anywhere. Now you can find it online and get certifications, but at that time you couldn't, because it was pretty fresh and pretty new. So I decided, you know what, I just need to create my own thing, and I feel so good creating, and I need to figure out how I can bring my martial arts background into my dance and make it my own improvisational vocabulary with like my own kind of style. So that's how Bonsai dance came into formation, and that was about 7 years ago. And this bee is still hanging out on my hand. Okay. And so I created Bonsai, and I created it about 7 years ago, but officially 5 years ago. And I started to play around with it and try to make it my own and try to set it apart from the other ones while still kind of being like within that style of improvisational belly dance, and that was really fun. At one point, I was just about to quit, though, because I wasn't sure. Actually, a few points I was just about to quit, but this is the first point I was just about to quit. And then I got a scholarship to the 8 Elements from Rachel Bryce, and I just had to go, and I went, and it was life-changing, and I am so grateful for everything she taught me. I love her so much, and I met some amazing dancers, and then that reignited what I needed to do with Bonsai, and just kind of formulated that, and I went forth with that, and we did pretty good. And then COVID hit, and we kind of took a step back for a little bit, and I had to refigure out some things. However, I've gotten to the point where I've refigured out some things, and I'm still refining the process and figuring out Bonsai. But I've come to the point where I have refined at least the first few levels, and I feel really solid in them, and I'm teaching the first level online now and in person, and there's a waiting list for the online one if you want to join me. However, my camera's is overheating because it's kind of hot out here, I guess. and I should probably wrap this up. So, if you stayed this long in the rambling, thank you so much. Drop like 3 hearts down below if you stayed this far. And I really appreciate you being here and listening to my dance journey. I can't recommend it enough. It's changed my life in so many incredible ways, and I've met so many beautiful people. In any case, thank you so much. Have a magical day. Bye.